Attention, the following video is going to totally kick. If you enjoy any of it and or have a large please click the like button below. Enjoy.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to the online retail Scalper Central. I keep using the word Scalper lately because if you guys follow me on Facebook, I've been having a little fun over there. Posting some pictures and stuff, and you know, people are so easy to trigger on Facebook, and I get a little bit of a kickback for my Facebook posts, so it's been a lot of fun over there because you post anything about Pokemon and everybody's just going to call you a scalper and make all these crazy accusations and stuff, and I've had a lot of fun. So if you follow me over there, you've probably seen some of that. Lots of scalper accusations. Lots of people telling me that I'm an idiot for having single packs, like all the single packs that are back here, that no one buys single packs anymore. That you get so let me know what you guys think, any Pokemon fans. As far as I know, the code card has, well, I mean, I know this for sure, but there's a code card that's in the Pokemon packs, right? And there's a different code card for packs that have hits, and there's a different code card for packs that don't have hits. And I guess it's a little bit different now because of the Scarlet Violet era, so I'm not exactly sure, but all those have hits. So as far as I know, modern packs are like almost impossible to weigh, and anybody that is talking about people weighing packs, I think it's way too inconsistent for anybody to actually like successfully do it, and for sure like pick out all the good packs and open those and then sell the bunk packs. And then other people are saying you can use like metal detectors, like stuff that like people building houses would use that can detect the foil on the cards, but as far as I know, that's also like way too inconsistent for anybody to like really be able to scam you really well. But anyways, apparently I'm weighing them. I'm also scanning the packs. I've got an MRI machine in the next room, and I make sure that any of the packs I sell don't have hits in them, you know, because that's what you want to do whenever you're selling under a business name on both TCG Player and eBay, because like definitely the feedback on those sales would reflect positively on my store, and then everybody would trust me and continue to buy product. Anyways, people on Facebook are beyond brain dead. It is wild. I can just post like the tiniest bit of rage bait and people will just they'll dedicate hours of their day, days of the week, just coming back to argue in the comments about something that has nothing to do with them. It blows my mind that people are out there that do that. It's crazy. And I get a little paycheck from Facebook, and it's fun for me. Anybody that's followed me long enough knows that I've always not shied away from a good argument or debate because it's fun. It's just, I don't know. That's just, it's entertaining for me. So anyways, those of you that follow me on Facebook, you know the fun I've been having lately. But anyways, here, let me show you some sales that came in over the weekend. These are just the TCG Player and eBay Pokemon sales. I do have a few main account eBay sales that we'll put up here. I wasn't going to try to fit it in on like the very little space that we have left. So, honestly, it doesn't really look like much here, but pretty good overall numbers. So let's get right into it. So first of all, we've got the three like inner sealed boxes from a sealed case. These get confusing because people will hit me up and they're like, these are sealed cases, right? And I'm like, well, no, it's not a case. It's a sealed box, inner box within a case on these check lane blister packs. But anyways, so each one of these has 16 individual blister packs in it, and they got an order of 3 at $199.89 a piece. So the excuse me, my allergies are kicking today. Subtotal on that was like $599.67. So really good sale there, obviously. And then we've got 2 of our combos here of the Zamazenta and Zacian. Oh, they're shiny. I didn't even realize they're shiny. Shiny Zamazenta, shiny Zacian premium figure collection boxes from Crown Zenith here. And those are going for a whopping $294 a piece. That was one of those products that I was just kind of browsing the sealed product on TCG Player and noticed that they were so high. I was like, oh man, I've got some cases of those. We should probably get those listed. You know, because I don't remember what the wholesale cost on those, but I'm going to guess they were a lot less than $150 a piece. So 2 orders of those, they're $600 just in those 2 orders, and then another $600 there. So that's pretty crazy. And then we've got another $440 here for the Lost Origin Build and Battle display. We've got 2 of our Weiss Schwarz Chainsaw Man booster boxes here, and those are going for $80 a piece. Another Weiss Schwarz Hololive Production booster box that's going for about $103. Another one of our Miraidon Battle League decks sold for $18. And then, again, for those of you following me on Facebook, everybody calling me an idiot for having single packs. No one buys single packs anymore, stupid. I hope you sit on all of it. No one's going to buy that. These are just some orders from the weekend here, and we've got 2 of the Brilliant Stars art bundles, another single order of the Brilliant Stars art bundles, and then 2 of the Evolving Skies art bundles. Brilliant Stars going for $37 an art bundle, so we got $74 here, and then another $37 here. And then we've got the Evo Skies are going for $98.99, so $99 a bundle. Sold 2 bundles, so $198 on those. And then we've got the sleeved boosters Battle Styles art set going for $35. So there we go. That is our Pokemon sales for the weekend. And like I said, I'm going to get all this boxed up, and then I'm going to get the eBay, the main account eBay. So miscellaneous merchandise, not just Pokemon. I'll get that all put out on the table, and I'll show you guys what sold there. And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, with the regular eBay sales. So we've got another 3D printed Tenacious D pick of Destiny, $10 there. We got TMNT, the arcade game on NES, instruction manual only, sold for $25 plus $5 ship. Pretty good one there. Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest manual only, sold for $10 free ship. Our last Queen Amidala from Star Wars Episode 1, the Hallmark keepsake ornaments, sold for $9. Well, we had like 5 of those, I think, or something like that, and they've actually been selling. Which is crazy because, like, you know, Christmas is still 6 months away or whatever. Then we've got a Precious Moments plate, collectible plate thing, whatever you want to call it. One of those, like, ceramic things. $20 there. So nothing too crazy on the main eBay account, but still getting sales. And I haven't listed any inventory in, like, 3 weeks. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I'm happy with that, and we're still selling quite a bit of Pokemon, so all is good. So, anyways, I'm going to get all this packed up, and I'll see you guys later. Welcome back yet again, ladies and gentlemen, to the online retail palace. I've got some orders here on the board. Nothing on the main eBay account, the miscellaneous yard sale finds stuff, flea market finds, whatever. But we do have some TCG player sales, so let me show you what we've got. Here we go. So we'll start off with a Big Daddy here. We've got a case of 151 Elite Trainer boxes, sold for a whopping $2,799.42. Absolutely crazy, but obviously everybody knew 151 is going to be a highly collectible, highly sought after collection or set, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I've got a little bit more of that, but not a whole lot, and happy to get some space back and some cash. So then we've got some Nazarick, Tomb of the Undead, and some Hololive Production Weiss Schwarz booster boxes. Real quick plug on my Weiss Schwarz. I've seen a couple people ask questions like the Chainsaw Man and stuff like that. So it's a card game, just like Pokemon. Well, I'm not saying it's just like, I don't really know exactly how it plays, but it's called Weiss Schwarz, and I've got a decent amount of it from various different sets over the last few years. There's some really, really, really big, highly collectible cards in these that are worth like hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. They have like signatures, not like actual on-card signatures, but like printed on signatures. And as far as I understand it, those are like the SPs or something, I think, or the SSP maybe. And basically they're super rare. You only get one per case, but they're like guaranteed per case. So a lot of stores people don't trust, because here's what you can do as a shop owner. I can go in there and just start ripping booster boxes until I find that case hit. And then if I find that case hit, hopefully within like the first 2 or 3 boxes, then I know that the other 13, 14, whatever are left will not have that big case hit, and then I just dump the booster boxes that aren't going to have the chance of getting that hit. I don't do that. I've opened a little bit of Weiss Schwarz, but it's not really my cup of tea. There is an Attack on Titan set. Opened a decent amount of that, but I don't search my cases for the big case hit and then dump the rest of the booster boxes on the market. I I don't care enough. Also, it just sounds like too big of a risk. Some stores might want to do that, but I'd rather just keep the sealed product and sell it as sealed product, knowing that my customers actually have the chance to get the big case hit. So a quick self plug on that. If you guys are looking for Weiss Schwarz, I have a little bit of it, and I have some of that listed. All these links are always going to be down in my link tree. You can find my TCG Player shop and my eBay shop. The Weiss Schwarz stuff is listed on the TCG Player shop, though. And if there's anything that you're looking for that you don't see, you can always hit me up, shoot me a message. There's a phone number in that link tree as well. You can shoot me a text. More Pico V Union, what is that? Is that a playmat collection? Yeah, premium playmat collection. $61.96, something like that. We got another one of our jumbo card collection binders, whatever the heck that thing's called. $13.72 there. Wouldn't you know it? Everybody on Facebook was such an expert. They told me people don't buy loose packs. I'm such an idiot for having them. I don't know. People are buying them, dude. Here we go. We got a art bundle here for Shining Fates that sold for $38. Another Shining Fates art bundle for $38, and a Brilliant Stars art bundle for $37. And then we've got some singles. I listed a handful, maybe like 20 singles, something like that, a couple days ago. Or maybe it was yesterday. I can't keep my days straight. Summers are insane around here. But anyways, we've got the beautiful Lost Origin Gengar Trainer Gallery. I was tempted to keep it, but I was like, nah, I don't need it. $13.79 on that. The Pikachu V from Brilliant Stars, full art. That sold for $7, and then, as you can see here, this person picked up 6 individual singles, one of which, the Big Daddy, was the Fusion Strike Gengar VMAX. It's just the VMAX. The VMAX is up to almost $18 raw value. I was shocked. I'm going to have to dig through my stuff because I probably have more. It's not like those VMAX cards were super rare. I couldn't believe that card's pushing $20. But anyway, somebody picked that up, and then they picked up like 5 more, because I don't remember exactly what the number is, but I think over $20 you get like free shipping on TCG Player, plus you'll get like tracking from most sellers. That's how I do it. Anything over $20 I'll send in an actual package with tracking. Everything below $20 I just ship it out in an envelope with stamps. So but anyways, that's it. Not a whole lot, but it's still like over $3,000 in sales, which is pretty crazy because there's not very much here. Obviously, mostly carried by this guy. I don't know if did I go over the prices on the Weiss Schwarz? It looks like $100 and $103 on those. So very decent little table of sales here. You guys know the drill. I'm going to put the camera down, get it packed up, and get it out of here. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the shop, as you can see. I don't know why I always have to say that. It is Friday morning, and I'm still going to tell you what day of the week it is, just for editing purposes, to help me keep track of what clip goes where. But obviously I'm not picking up the camera every day anymore, because there's not always sales or anything to show, to be honest. But today we do have some sales. Not a whole lot, but we have some sales. Let me show you what's going on. So here we go, TCG Player side. It's funny, I was talking all that, eBay is actually doing really well, considering I haven't been listing any inventory. I'm happy where the sales are still coming in, and now they've completely fallen off. We haven't had a sale on the eBay for a while, but that's okay. It's kind of to be expected. So 3 sales here on TCG Player. Nothing too crazy. We've got another, again, this is the Gengar VMAX I mentioned, the last clip you guys saw. Just the standard Gengar VMAX. These VMAX cards usually don't hold a whole lot of value, like even the Charizards and stuff. But this one here for Fusion Strike is just under $20, $17.50 on that guy. I was really surprised to dig those out and see that the value had climbed that much. So I want to say a year ago those were probably sub $10. They were probably $8 or $9, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look. But then we got another first partner binder here and 2 more singles. We got a Togekiss V and a Copperjaw V. The binder, $13.72. The Togekiss was $2, and the Copperjaw was $1.25. Nothing too crazy there. And then we got 4 of our Professor Juniper milk cartons, $73 a piece. So the total came to about $292. They ordered a quantity of 4, so I'm just going to ship them a sealed display, and hopefully they'll appreciate that. Oh, Here's a little update on a thing. So the website basically got to the point where when the Pokemon market was really down, before this big explosion, basically the only way you could get people to go to your website and buy product was if you had the best price on the internet and one of the big deals accounts on Twitter would tweet out your stuff. And I successfully had that happen many times. But you would have to sell stuff so low that most of the time I wouldn't make profit. Sometimes I would lose. Sometimes I would break even. Sometimes I'd make $2 or $3 per sale, just not that much. And maintaining a website costs a lot of money, especially the amount of traffic we would get when I would do these big drops. So anyways, it got to the point where I just stopped selling on the website and started only selling on TCG Player and eBay. And so the website was just sitting dormant for the longest time. In fact, it was kind of like in a state where you would go there and you would just get an error and it wouldn't even work. But I recently reached out to the admin that helped me build the website, and I was like, hey, I've got this idea, because I found some of those business cards I was just showing, and I was like, I've got probably like 1,500 of these business cards still left over that I paid for a QR code on the back. And the QR code actually expired on the website. And it wasn't supposed to. Whenever I initially paid for the service, it said that the QR code would live on in perpetuity. You just couldn't change what it linked to. So I reached out to that website, even though I wasn't a paying member anymore. They fixed the QR code, and then reached out to the admin of the website, and I was like, hey, here's my idea. What I want to do is I want to start dropping. Also, I paid for like really cool ones. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of got like a pearlescent, sparkly. Yeah, look, there you go. You can kind of tell. Front-facing camera is probably not the best to try to show this off, but anyways, I paid for like really nice like rounded corners and just some, I don't know, I think they're really snazzy. So my idea was I'm going to start throwing these QR code little business cards back in my orders like I used to. I used to just ship any order that sold Pokemon related would go out with one of these business cards, and I wanted to start throwing them in again. So basically, if you scan that QR code now, it takes you to a landing page on the old website that just says, hey, while there's not any inventory listed on the website right now for sale, we do have live inventory on both TCG Player and eBay. Here's the links to those platforms. So that way we're still like directing some traffic and some eyeballs, some brand recognition and stuff like that. So that's a little update with what's going on with business cards. And then, yeah, so I'm going to get that stuff out. You might have noticed there's a couple more things over here. So yesterday, the wife and I, we had a doctor's appointment. So there's this store there that we like to hit up whenever we're in town, called Once Upon a Child. And if you guys don't know what it is, think of it basically as a pawn shop for adults with children, I guess is the best way to like explain that. Basically what it is you can take in old clothes that your kids have grown out of, because if any of you have kids, you know that like, you're constantly just buying clothes because they're growing and they're growing out of clothes. It's not like an adult, you just keep the same shirt like me for 20 years, whatever. So you take all these trash bags full of old clothes, and as long as they're in good shape and not like totally beat up and dirty and disgusting and full of holes and stuff, they'll give you 50 cents, $1, $2, whatever it is per item, depending on what it is, as like store credit. And then you can pick out, and because they kind of do that, like they don't take everything, they reject a lot of the stuff that you take, and they only take like the stuff that's in really good condition, that's like good name brands and stuff like that. They've got really good stuff on the floor too. So it's a good place to get like really high quality used clothing for your kids and trade in some of the stuff that you would have either just donated to like a local open door or whatever, or just thrown away, right? So anyways, we always hit this place up, and they've also got like an entire wall just full of shelves of toys, because you can also take in old toys. You're constantly throwing away toys that your kids grow out of. And instead of doing that or trying to run a yard sale or whatever, you can take them into the store. They'll give you store credit. You can get new clothes, new toys, whatever. So I always look through the toys while I'm there to see if I can find anything. And I found some bags of Legos. In fact, if you guys remember the little surfboards and stuff that I sold, there was like a rainbow and a couple surfboards and like a saxophone or something like that were Lego. That was from a couple bags of Lego that I bought from there. But anyways, this time I spotted these guys. So these are called Screechers Wild, and there's like different ones. So this is like Sting Shift and Scornet. It kind of looks like they were trying to do like a Transformers thing, but like Hot Wheels Transformers kind of mixed together kind of thing. And if you look, where was it? Down here on the bottom, the date right there is, the copyright date is 2018. So as long as it's like, that's already 7 years. So I looked them up, And I found a couple sold for like $20-$30 of different cars. But then there were some that were rare that were, or seemed to be maybe more rare, that had solds like closer to like 100. They were like in the 70s and 80s, I believe. So especially finding two, like obviously they're not in the best condition, but they are still brand new sealed. And being able to find two, you know, instead of just getting $20-$30 for one of them, I can put the two together, maybe get 50-60. The profit margin will be a little bit better because I can ship them together. And I haven't done research on them yet. One of these might be a rare one that's, you know, worth a decent amount more. So those were $3.50 a piece, and this one was also $3.50. And these were 2012, I think. Yeah, you can see right there, 2012 Mattel. So I was looking these up briefly. Again, obviously the packaging's not that great. These probably got donated by like the same family. They just had like, you know, boys, and they had some sealed cars that came in for birthdays. And if it's anything like my kids and my personal family experience, sometimes you get so much stuff for Christmas or a birthday or whatever from all the family and friends that stuff just ends up in a closet because you don't need to open everything at once. And then before you know it, you forget about it. And like 6 years later, you're like, oh, we still have that sealed gift that grandma got them. You know, and then you got to get rid of it. So anyways, I found some of these that had pretty good sales, some of them not so hot, but I think it just depends on what cars are in these from what I could tell, because the sales were kind of all over the place. So there is a Porsche there, and then the Shark Cruiser, and I know some of the Shark Cruisers can be pretty decent. So I figured at the $3.50 price tag, why not? I just pick it up and do a little research and see if any of these are worth a decent amount, sell it sealed as is or whatever. And if not, you know, I've got some cars for the kids to play with. So anyways, yes, spent what, $10.50 on these three things, and I think we got like $50 worth of clothing. I think we got like $50 worth of clothing for my daughter at the time. It's funny, I was actually just talking about how they have like the bring in your bag of stuff and they'll give you credit. We brought a bag of stuff, and for the first time ever, I guess this store is like super overloaded right now, their buy counter was closed. They wouldn't take our bag of clothes, so we didn't get any store credit. Spent about $50 on clothes for my daughter, including this stuff. So I guess $40 worth of clothes, $10 worth of product to sell. So I do this a lot. One of the things I try to do is anytime we're out doing something as a family, if I'm in a situation where I can find something to flip online to offset the cost, or sometimes even pay for whatever the, you know, if we're going out to eat and we happen to stop at a thrift store, or if we're, you know, buying clothing for our daughter and I find a couple toys that I can sell, my goal is always like, I can sell some of this stuff and hopefully get a little bit of a discount. In the long run, it'll end up being like a discount on the clothes that we bought for my daughter. Or hopefully, you know, maybe I can sell these three items here and make $50 profit. You know what I mean? So it would pay for the entire haul of clothing and maybe a little bit of gas money or whatever, you know. So that, I don't know. I do that stuff all the time. Like anytime we're out doing something, there's been family trips that we've been on and stuff, and I'll see a yard sale sign and I'll just pull over and get lucky and find like a Super Nintendo and a couple of games and sell that, and it'll pay for like whatever the stuff is that we did that day as a family. And I think regardless of people, like I've seen a lot of people like, hey man, you from watching your videos, like I've started an eBay, or I started selling on TCG Player. You inspired me to do this as a hustler or whatever. Regardless of if you're trying to like make it a job or something, I think everybody should like dabble in an eBay account, because you can find stuff anywhere. Like I find stuff all the time, whether it be a yard sale or, you know, sometimes you're just driving down the street and there's stuff with a free sign next to out in front of somebody's house and you could find something there. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and the amount of times that I've found something alongside just some sort of an extracurricular activity with my family, and then been able to get a little bit of a discount by picking whatever that thing is up and selling it online, or paying for the entire weekend or whatever it is that we might be doing, you know, I get a lot of satisfaction from that. And it's a lot of fun. So, and it's just, you know, why wouldn't you? It's like it's a good practice to have, in my opinion. So anyways, haven't done one of these in a long time, but we have a viewer question. I don't quite understand it, but I'll show you. So I haven't done one of these in a while, and I was hoping that this guy was going to give me a follow-up, because as you can see, I replied here 4 days ago, because I'm not totally sure I understand his question, and I want to answer more of these questions. I need more time fillers because the daily vlogging has kind of slowed down. So if you guys have questions, ask away. I just haven't really had any to address, but here we go. Cole Barbie 3469 said, "Hey man, longtime viewer here. I love the content. I have a genuine question for you. Was it more profitable back in the old days, 2014-ish, or is here more potential? Or is here more potential for profit here in 2025?" So I'm guessing he was trying to say, or is there more potential for profit here in 2025? I understand that you have a massive inventory, but I mean in terms of content creation. So I asked a follow-up, was content creation more profitable back then or now? Is that what you're asking? So what I think he's trying to ask here is, I've been a content, he's saying like aside from like the businesses like the Pokemon and the flipping yard sale stuff, is content creation more profitable now compared to what it was back in like my heyday, my peak online popularity or traffic or whatever you want to call it, back in like the 2014-ish time frame? This is a complicated question to answer, because I made more money in 2020, 2021 than I ever did back in the day where like my YouTube was popping, my Twitch was popping. You know, I could upload anything. I could upload raw, unedited CSGO game, ranked match or whatever, and it would get 100K plus views. I could upload, a random clip from Halo. It would get 100,000 views. You know, I could do just about anything, and I would just get views because, the whole YouTube platform just worked different back in the day. You got on YouTube, and everybody you were subscribed to was in your sub feed. Then they changed to like this algorithm-based thing where like YouTube is going to tell you what you want to watch as opposed to like what you clicked subscribe on. Which, that's a whole different discussion. But and those profitable years that I'm talking about on 2020, 2021, that was on Twitter before the whole Elon Musk acquisition and stuff. And we're talking short form content, not long form content, because like YouTube, it's the opposite. You make more money on the long form content, like Minecraft Let's Plays and just various video game Let's Plays and stuff. So again, just bear with me because it's probably just going to go off on this long rant and story, and I don't even know if I'm answering your question properly. But I think some people forget just how long I've been doing this, and sometimes I do too. I mean, we are talking, in his question, he mentioned 2014, so he knows. But I've had so many different started on YouTube. I remember I lost my partnership on YouTube for a while. I was caught in a Machinima contract with, if you guys don't remember the OG controversy with Machinima, they had contracts, they had people like me signed in a contract that had the word perpetuity in it. So basically they had us locked down for eternity, until, everybody realized that you can't have perpetuity in a contract. Like you just can't do that. And they were signing kids that didn't even know what I didn't know what perpetuity meant until I signed a Machinima contract with perpetuity, and then I wanted to get out of it. Got out of that, lost my partnership on YouTube for a while because I got some copyright strike of some sort. I was unpartnered for a year, transitioned to uploading videos on my second channel because that channel was partnered at the time. Got my partnership back on my main channel, left one MCN, got signed with Broadband, did some exciting stuff with Broadband, got really nice signing bonuses and stuff with Broadband because we were kind of at our peak popularity at the time. I had a MLG.TV contract back in the day, negotiated a sweet deal for me and the guys with them, got a signing bonus of getting to go to the Winter X Games, got to see Skrillex and Snoop Dogg and stuff in Aspen, and had that contract was cushy because it didn't matter your viewership. You just had to do X amount of hours a week or whatever, and we got paid a flat rate to do that. So at the time, that was a really awesome contract. I had a Mixer contract after the MLG days fell apart. Mixer had, I don't even remember the details on that contract, if I'm being honest. And I still believe that Mixer had a really good thing going. It sucks that all kind of fell through, but I don't know if you guys remember Mixer. It was a fantastic platform that was really doing some exciting stuff. And it was really sad to see that website fall apart. And then the whole time, you know, I still had my Twitch channel, and I would go back to it in between. And because I never really considered myself like a serious streamer. So anytime I got offered by a platform to like come over here and get like a better contract than what I had with Twitch, I was like, I'll try it. Why not? I don't even really, streaming was like a side thing for me anyway. So it wasn't like a big, like, oh, I don't know about moving my community. It was just like, sure, we'll try it. So anyways, you know, I've been around a long time. I've been through YouTube's up and downs, adpocalypses, losing partnership, you know, being with shady companies with shady contracts. And basically, you know, my earnings, and my strategy on all those things were different because, like I said, some of those things were guarantees, you know, and a lot of, like, back in the 2014 days, as much as the ad revenue and everything was good because I was getting, you know, millions of views a month and stuff like that on YouTube. And I think the ad rates are technically better now on YouTube. But back then, I would be able to get sponsorship deals pretty easily. Like, back, EA had this program called Ronku, and you would be able to play their games and put like the Ronku intro on the beginning, and then you'd get a fixed CPM rate per 1,000 views, and those were nice. And I capped out some of the budgets and stuff on some of those. For a while, I was one of the top earners on the Ronku program, and then I launched merch with Teespring, I think, way back in the day. Spreadshirt maybe. I remember when I launched like the ice cream cone tees. Some of you guys who are watching this might still have one, and I just brought it back recently. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Links are in the description. When I launched that ice cream cone T-shirt, they reached out to me and they were like, "You are the highest earning gaming collaboration we've done to that date." So I did really well and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of times the sponsorships would pay more than like what my base YouTube pay would be back in those days. You know, you'd get one deal and clear a month or more YouTube earnings just from like doing one sponsored video back then. So, you know, it's really hard to like put a clear and concise answer on what you're asking, I guess is what I'm saying. And then, like I said, the Twitter stuff came along, and that's a whole different thing. You were talking like 10-second, 30-second clip videos on a social media platform, not necessarily like an actual video platform like YouTube. And that was the highest earning 2 years of my life by far. Like, I far exceeded my earnings back in the YouTube days. So, you know, and nowadays I don't get near as many views as what I did. Obviously, like, all of my socials are way under what they used to be. So, you know, I still make some money, but right now, like, content creation doesn't really do anything for me. I keep up with it. I'm trying to get the ball rolling on Twitter again, but it's in this weird, like, bounce back state where we don't really know what's going to happen with it. We don't know if it's going to go back to the glory days that it was, or if it's just going to be okay, or if it's going to be not worth keeping up with. Right now, I'm keeping up with it because of the potential. But if it doesn't start performing better than it is now, I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing it. So, yeah, I think that's everything that, as far as content creation and how profitable it is. That was a very long-winded answer. But yeah, I think I covered everything there. I don't even know if I just answered your question, but we sure talked about some stuff. So there you go.